Hello and welcome to today's video. So this is going to be a reading vlog of sorts. I've got 3 books here, all of which I would class as like cheesy high school romance type books. And I'm just going to read them all, give you my thoughts, my feelings and what's going on and whether they're any good. I'm now 25, so it's been, you know, like 10 years since I've been in high school, but I thought I'd give these a go. I have watched all of the movie versions to this, so I'm not going to be like, you know, going into this blind or anything. I have definitely at some point in my life seen all of the movies. Don't really remember this one, but I do remember this one. So yeah, let's talk about them. So book 1, which is Confessions of a Teenage Drama Queen. This was a movie that I think was put out by Disney Channel and it starred Lindsay Lohan. Oh yeah, I've literally just peeled the thing off and it says starring Lindsay Lohan. But yeah, it was a good movie from what I can remember. I didn't know that it had a book until I found it in a charity shop. And yeah, this was in a charity shop for 50p, so I thought I'd give it a go. Hopefully it's good. So we've got here Mary Elizabeth, or Lola as she prefers to be called, longs to be in the spotlight, but when she moves to New Jersey with her family, Lola discovers that the role of resident drama queen at Deadwood High has already been filled by the born to win, born to run everything Carla Santini. Once the curtain goes up on the school play, which drama queen will take centre stage? Ooh, yeah, hopefully it's entertaining. And yeah, that's that one. Then we have Paper Towns by John Green. And this one, read the inside. I definitely remember this. I think when I was really young, I read the book of this as well. But like, I really don't have a great memory of it. Like, I'm not sure if I did or not. I don't know. But yeah, the thing about Margot Roth Spiegelman is that really all I could ever do was let her talk, and then when she stopped talking, encourage her to go on, due to the fact that 1, I was incontestably in love with her, and 2, she was unprecedented in every way, and 3, she never really asked me any questions. Quentin Jacobson has always loved Margot from afar, so when she climbs through his window to summon him on an all-night road trip of revenge, he cannot help but follow. But the next school morning, Q turns up at school and Margot doesn't. She's left clues about her disappearance, like a trail of breadcrumbs for Q to follow. And everything leads to one unavoidable question. Who is the real Margot? And yeah, yet again, this one, found it in a charity shop and I was like, let's do this, let's try this, let's see what it's about. And then last but not least is The Duff. This again is the movie tie-in cover. And it says 17-year-old Bianca Piper may not be the prettiest girl at school, but she has a loyal group of friends, biting wit and a spot-on BS detector. She's also too smart to fall for the charms of man-slut Wesley, but when he casually refers to Bianca as the Duff of her crew, the designated ugly fat friend, the gloves are off. Honestly, I think looking back at this one now, it's probably going to be slightly problematic. We've already called someone the fat friend, which not okay. And we've already called someone a man-slut, which, again, not okay. But I'm definitely open to giving this a go and seeing what I think of it. So yeah, those are the 3 books. And I'm just going to get reading them, honestly, and check in as and when. I'm going to start with The Duff. I did a little poll on Instagram earlier to ask which one to start with, and The Duff one. I have actually got the audiobook for this one because it's on Scribd, so I'll just check in probably before halfway. I'll try and check in the first bit and then check in around halfway and check in at the end. Let you know what I'm thinking, what's going on. Is it good? Is it bad? Does it live up to the hype? I remember really enjoying the movie of this, but I don't know how much the movie was edited from the book, and I've never read the book before. So, let's find out. Okay, so I'm 7 chapters into this. It's okay, it's fun. I think if I was a young teenager, I'd probably be enjoying it. But already it's giving very, like, I'm not like other girls vibes. There's a lot of name calling in there that I don't think is okay, and there's also a lot of talking about like weight and appearance and like just being very negative in general. the setup is also very different to the movie. Like these people go to like the teenagers club and just kind of see each other at school, and like the three best friends are best friends, but there's no like other girl, there's no like Bella Thorne, whoever she played in the movie, like that character's not in this book. Yeah, and it's obviously like not as, honestly not as good as the movie, and it's very much a product of its time, should we say. This came out in 2010, it says in the front, it says copyright 2010. And honestly, I'm surprised it came out in 2010. Like, I thought it would have been even before that, because like some of the stuff in here just isn't great. I think if you can read it with a pinch of salt, like it's definitely like interesting. Like I'm reading it through the audiobook on my phone whilst I'm like doing some DIY, and like it's holding my attention, I'm enjoying it, but it's not great. It's really not great. So yeah, that's it so far. I just got to chapter 7 is the next chapter I need to start, and yeah, I'm enjoying it. It's alright, it's a bit of fun. Okay, so I'm halfway through chapter 13. Bianca has just spoken her first words ever to Toby Tucker. I don't know, so she fancies Toby Tucker, but Toby Tucker has a girlfriend, so she's got a crush on him. Okay, she's hooking up with Wesley, who she hates, or at least doesn't like. She used to go out with one of her best friend's older brothers, but the best friend whose brother it is doesn't know because they weren't friends at the time, and that older brother cheated on his girlfriend with her. She was the other woman. And then she's slowly distancing herself from her other best friend. On top of that, her mom has sent through divorce papers for her dad, and her dad's not accepting it. So there's a lot going on. There's a lot of things happening, but I don't really care. That sounds horrible, but like I'm just not really caring about them. Like, yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on. I'm enjoying reading the book. Like, it's a nice, like, kind of turn your brain off, chill vibes, easy book to read. But I'm not really caring about anything going on right now. None of it's really holding my attention. None of it's really interesting me enough. Like, if someone was like, I have to take that book off you right now, I'd be like, okay. I don't know, a lot of the time when I'm reading, if someone wanted to like take my book off me, I'd be like, I do not think so. I do not think so. But yeah, I don't know. It's alright. I'm having fun with it. It's an interesting time. Hopefully something better happens, something picks up, something happens to like pique my interest enough to like care, basically, is what I really need, because right now there's a lot going on. The further into it I'm getting, the less like of its time it's seeming. Like, it's not as obvious it's outdated in terms of like the slang and the language and the like the things being said that aren't really appropriate. You wouldn't want to put in a book now. Nothing dreadful has happened in terms of that, and like I would be interested to read a book by this author that is like more current, like released in the last couple of years, to see if it has improved, because like the writing style, I'm quite enjoying it. It's very easy to read. But yeah, I don't know, I'm gonna keep reading, and yeah, I'm almost halfway, so hopefully something happens soon that makes me want to continue on. I finished the book. I'm gonna give it 3 stars. I thought it was pretty good. It was alright, you know. It was a bit of fun. I think it was potentially better than the movie. I really do. A lot of the stuff that was problematic at the start of it was addressed by the end. It did address, like, you know, it's not okay to call people sluts and whores, and like, you know, like that kind of thinking and that kind of like negativity, it's not okay. And it did go into that, which I thought was really good. And the story in this was so much better than the movie. The movie, they changed everything. Like, there's completely new characters, the setup, how the characters are interacting. Like, the story between the main 2 people, between Bianca and Wesley, that story in this one was way better, way more believable, and just way more real. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was quite good. It's only getting 3 stars because it is unfortunately a bit of a product of its time, but I'm definitely going to look into the author and see what they've released recently, because I looked online, this was actually the author's debut book, which is like amazing. So yeah, I'm really interested to see what they've written more recently. And yeah, overall 3 stars. I enjoyed the ending, I enjoyed how we figured it out. I kind of would have liked an epilogue. We kind of ended right with everything coming to a close. I felt like an epilogue could have been nice, just to be like a little flash forward or something. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. We saw a lot of characters, and to say how like bad the terms were for like slut and whore and everything, there was like an out character. Like obviously this is normal now, but I have to keep thinking like this was 2010. I don't know, like it's difficult to think back and be like, was this good for its time? I don't know, I really can't remember, but yeah, I was quite impressed with it. I'm gonna give it 3 stars. I thought it was a fun enough time, and yeah, I had fun. Okay, so I am about to start Confessions of a Teenage Drama Queen, which has the tagline of so much drama, so little time. Yeah, I'm tired, I just want to read it before bed. Yeah, I don't think there's anything for me to say. I'm about to start this. I'm not expecting it to be great, but I'm hoping it'll be fun. Okay, so I am 100% DNFing this. It really wasn't good. I gave it a couple of tries. Really wasn't good. I didn't like the writing style, but I thought I could probably get past it. But it was whiny, it was just so young. I don't think I even found out the age of this character, but like, it was portrayed by Lindsay Lohan here. Like, I think you're talking like 16 plus at a guess. And within the first few pages there were just so many name drops. There was so much of like, honestly, I think one of the pages, like a quarter of the words were just like famous people's names, and yeah, not for me, can't get through it honestly. So I am going to call it quits with Confessions of a Teenage Drama Queen here. It would have been nice to be able to read it and like have an opinion on it, especially as there is a movie, but oh well, not gonna happen. However, I will at some point this evening be picking up Paper Towns and giving this one a go. So I will check in when I get a little bit into this, and I think I'll still enjoy the writing style of this one. I'm not worried about like struggling through this one. I think I'm actually genuinely going to enjoy it still. So I made it to chapter 2 so far. The like prologue bit was interesting and chapter 1's been alright. I feel like now at chapter 2 is where we're gonna kind of get into it. I definitely think at the time this came out, it was a good book. However, I'm starting to think it might not live up to that. I'm definitely already not completely vibing with it, which like I kind of expected to. So it originally came out in 2008, so it's been like 14 years. I'm hopeful I'll still enjoy it somewhat, but to be honest, it isn't as good as I remember it being so far in, which is just a bit annoying. But we've met our 2 main characters. We've seen a bit of them from like the past when they're like 9ish years old, and then we've properly seen our 1 main character at like the current age, and I think we're about to get into like the nitty gritty and find out more. So yeah, still hoping it'll be enjoyable, but I don't think it's one that's aged well, but I could still be proved wrong. I'm really not very far in. Okay, so I've got to part 2 of Paper Towns. It's okay. We've got through, basically part 1 was basically just had Margot and Quentin, and they've been going around Orlando doing things. They had 11 tasks to fulfill, and they've done that by the end of part 1. It was very revenge style, and like some of the things just didn't seem sensible, like not in a you're gonna get in trouble or a this is childish way, just in a like this actually has more negative repercussions for the person, and like it's worth you making that decision over way. And also number 11, they went to SeaWorld, and I didn't like that because I don't like SeaWorld and it has a lot of problems, and none of those were assessed in this book, which honestly I don't even know if they would have been public at the time of this book's publication. However, just not a fan of it. Just, yeah, wasn't a big fan of that entire section really, and all of the different things they were doing, they were very repetitive. Like 3 people, they just went and left fish in their house. I read that 3 times. But yeah, I'm now on page 84, 85, something like that. So almost a third of the way through. It's easy to read. I'm not hating it. I'm just finding a lot of problems with it and really finding it outdated, and like it's not changed very well with the time. Obviously it was released a lot earlier than now. Yeah, which is interesting because this isn't the book that I thought that this would be the case with, but yeah, it's not how I remember it, and I don't know, I guess we'll just see. There was also the use of like terms that aren't okay and like aren't okay to use, but that was addressed. It was addressed that they weren't okay words and like phrases to use, but then they still use them. I don't know. I'm gonna keep reading and see what I think. I'm halfway through dyeing my hair, but I'm about to start reading again, and I realised I forgot to mention that there has also been quite a few moments where during their trip of 11 stops, it was kind of hinted at that Margot might be like considering like committing suicide, basically. Like she was having suicidal thoughts and tendencies. It was never confirmed, and every time it kind of went that direction, it then got pulled back again. It was very much like a, oh shit, she might be thinking this, which links to this, which links to this. Like that's bad, like that's not good. Like they found a dead guy together already, like when they're 9. But then she'd be like, no, like, you know, and like it would be a conversation and a reaction that would like level it. But I feel like there were like 3, maybe even 4 moments where like that was definitely a train of thought that we're following. And I don't know what's going to happen to Margot, like I can't remember. But I do feel like whatever does end up happening to Margot is going to relate back to things that happened during this night that we've just been through. So, yeah. Okay, so I've just got to part 3. Q and his like 3 friends are going on the final hunt for Margot. They think they know where she is and figured out all the clues and whatever. Honestly, it's just been really boring. They're meant to have been figuring out these clues, but it's mainly just been random crap, honestly. Like it just has been going so slow. Honestly, it was pretty obvious. It's taken them a very long time to figure out the clue of like, look at the map. And yeah, by the looks of it, I've literally just flicked to like the first page of part 3. It looks like we're gonna have an hour by hour countdown, so that should be fun. I don't know, it's okay, don't get me wrong, like it's not bad. I think if you are the age that this is like targeted towards, I'd say is probably like 12-13 year olds, you'd probably really enjoy it. It probably isn't too slow, like because it probably would take a brain of that age longer to figure all these bits out, but it also is just like a lot of crap, a lot of character building, I guess you'd say. Like there's a lot of added character building to it, but I just don't care about any of the characters. None of them are likeable, none of them have qualities that I see as like good. Yeah, I'm probably being overly negative because I'm not enjoying the experience. It's probably not as bad as I'm currently saying because I've just been reading it and trying to get through it, but definitely not a great experience as an adult. Let's leave it as that for now. I'm going to finish the book and then I'll come back for a final check-in. Okay, so I finished this book a couple of days ago now actually. We are in the middle of like some sort of heat wave, so I just haven't sat down, but I finished it. I've given it 2 stars, and I think if you're like the target age for this book, which I reckon is probably like 12-13 is probably the target age, you'd probably enjoy it a bit more. Like you'd probably quite enjoy it. It was alright, it was okay, it was a little bit of fun, but it was mostly just annoying, even the funny parts. But again, I think that's probably an age thing. Yeah, I wasn't the biggest fan. Part 3, the last section, which was called The Vessel. It was basically split up into like hour by hour sections. So it was like the first hour of the car journey, the second hour of the car journey, like so on and so forth. That part was the best part, I think. If the rest of the book would have been that sort of pace, I think it could have got a much higher rating. But the main section of this book of looking for clues everywhere, it was so slow, it was so boring, and I didn't care enough. I didn't care enough to keep reading, so it's getting 2 stars. None of the characters were likeable. I don't think characters have to be likeable to like a book, but none of them were. They were all very annoying. And honestly, it's just really quite silly. Yeah, not one that has lived up to how good I remembered it was. Not one that I think has aged particularly well. Like, I don't think any of it's too bad, but I just think there's so many books that are also like YA contemporary with similar sort of like topics and themes that are out today that do what this tried to do a lot better. So yeah, that is kind of my entire review for that one, unfortunately. But yeah, that is the end of the video. We did only end up reading 2 books. We read Paper Towns, which we just finished, and The Duff. Honestly, not the worst reading, not terrible, but I did have to DNF Confessions of a Teenage Drama Queen because it was just too bad. Like, if you've read it, please let me know if it got any better, because like I was kind of curious, but I just couldn't put myself through it. I just couldn't. I might rewatch the films of all of these and see if the films were like better. I think The Duff, the book, will be better than the film, because I watched the film like within the last couple of years. I've watched the film because it's on Netflix, and I always go to that sort of like YA like romantic comedy every time I'm ill. Like if I'm ill, I'm watching a crappy film on Netflix. And yeah, I do think that the book for that one was better, if you can get around like the slightly problematic age of it. But yeah, I don't think I've watched the Paper Towns film. I don't know if I've watched it, or I thought I'd watched it when it came out, but I don't think I could have, because this book was very foreign to me, so I feel like if I had watched the film, I'd know more. And Confessions of a Teenage Drama Queen, I definitely remember watching. Like, I used to watch all of the like Lindsay Lohan, Hilary Duff, that sort of thing movies, so I definitely will have watched it at some point, but I have no recollection of it. So yeah, very interesting. Really enjoyed this, enjoyed the vlog, enjoyed the process. Hopefully you did too. Do give the video a like if you liked it, subscribe down below if you'd like to see more content like this, and hopefully I will see you next time. Bye.